Hey, Survivor. Welcome to episode 50 of the Vibrant Survivor podcast. Today, I'm going to talk about some ways to tap into the healing power of music after narcissistic abuse. I know how intense trauma responses can be after a narcissistic or toxic relationship. After all, the body keeps a score. Studies show that music heals, and I truly believe this. So if you're ready to tap in, grab a notebook and pen, and let's dig in. Hey, Survivor. Welcome to the Vibrant Survivor podcast. Do you want to disconnect from a narcissistic or toxic situation and heal? Are you Googling how to identify a narcissist, narcissistic abuse, and boundaries? Are you feeling stressed and lonely while trying to avoid being sucked back in and lied to again? Hey, I'm Lesley. As a busy wife and mom, I fell for the lies and manipulations of narcissists. I wasted my time, talents, and money on users who kept moving the goalposts. I wanted real relationships and business opportunities and to enjoy life with my family. Instead, I struggled with anxiety, panic attacks, and insomnia, and I couldn't trust my body or anybody until I took a holistic approach to healing. In this podcast, you'll find tips for healthy living, trauma healing, and boundaries so that you'll have the freedom, confidence, and inner peace to respond, not react, after narcissistic abuse. Take a deep breath in, let it out slowly, and just relax. This time's for you. Hey, Survivor! Are you tired of feeling exhausted, stressed, lonely, and stuck in narcissistic relationships, and you just want closure and healing? I spent years rationalizing toxic relationships and dysfunctional environments in the name of community, connection, and career. As a result, I wasted my time, talents, and money on users who kept moving the goalposts. One of the worst was an alleged murderer who discarded me after I caught him lying, stopped helping him for free, and held my boundaries. Even though I dodged a bullet, I felt depressed, ashamed, and I doubted myself. I want you to know that you don't have to suffer in silence, feel alone, or crazy anymore. Come and experience the power of creating your own closure without the permission or participation of the narcissist. I've been no contact for over 4 years now, and I've grown personally and professionally. I have more clarity, stronger boundaries. I'm building a life and business that I've always wanted and enjoying real relationships. I know you want to break patterns of getting into toxic relationships, even if you don't mean to. And it feels so good to disconnect from dysfunction, set and hold boundaries, provide closure for myself, and focus on self-care. And to empower my kids to do the same. Go to closurecoachingsession.com right now and get ready to heal after narcissistic abuse. I grew up in the 70s and 80s in a dysfunctional household with a narcissistic parent. Stevie Wonder, Elton John, and Johnny Mathis were just a few of the artists whose music was part of the soundtrack of my childhood. For example, I remember staring at our record player as Songs in the Key of Life blared from the speakers in our small apartment, reading the album cover to cover and hanging out in our living room, which happened to be my personal arena. I also remember spreading a blanket on the carpet and it became my stage. When I was on stage, I bounced up and down while Elton John's second album played, and I sang Take Me to the Pilot at the top of my lungs. I also remember sitting at my little table in my room with crayons and lined paper, pretending to transcribe Johnny Mathis's lyrics in cursive with his melodious voice in the background. And even though I loved their songs and I got lost in these musical moments as a kid, they weren't enough to override the trauma that I experienced during my childhood years. Over the last several years, I've given myself permission and taken opportunities to tap into the healing power of music with these and other artists, and I've replaced the traumatic memories and need to escape with powerful new experiences that I never want to forget. Here's how I did it. One was I faced the music, literally. I went to see these artists in concert, and I did this so that I could create new memories with the artists and their music and get rid of those old memories and just even the feeling of being in that small apartment with a verbally, emotionally, and occasionally physically abusive person. I made a concert bucket list. I looked at their schedules online and bought tickets, merch, sang, moved, cheered, met people, and just bathed in the sound of their songs for a couple of hours. The second thing that I did was I shared the experience. In other words, I went with another survivor. There's healing in community, and the more the merrier when it comes to healing from trauma. You can get a fresh start, hit the reset button with other people, and it's a beautiful thing. What I did specifically was I surprised my mom for her 70th birthday with tickets for us to go see Stevie Wonder. And we did this in my hometown of St. Louis. So I went back to my hometown after we had already celebrated her birthday and surprised her with the tickets, and I attended the concert with her. So literally, I went back to the place of origin of my trauma, and I got to take my mom, go have this experience where we got to change the narrative around songs in the key of life. And it was an experience I'll never forget. I remember looking over at my mom in the midst of the concert while Stevie Wonder was just belting out one of his famous hits. And my mom was just singing, and she looked at me and she was like, "This is so awesome." And it was. The third thing that I've done is to go solo. And specifically, I've gone to concerts alone at times, and oftentimes when I haven't been able to get someone to go with me, or when I just felt the need to go by myself. And that was the case with Elton John. Specifically, I went alone to his concert close to home. He finally descended upon Phoenix as part of his farewell tour, and this was the ultimate for me in self-expression, creativity, and I was determined not to miss out again. I found out last minute that he was in Phoenix. I blew up my husband's phone, hoping that he would make it a date. And unfortunately, he was exhausted from work, so I went home after finding out that Elton John was performing for 2 nights. I bought a ticket for that night. I think it was a Friday. I changed my outfit and went alone. It was awesome. And it was perfect for me because during my childhood, I was really creative in the way that I expressed myself and enjoyed Elton John's album, his self-titled album. And that was when I put the blanket on the floor, made it my stage, did all the things, was belting Take Me to the Pilot. It was so cool. And I got to do that all over again as an adult and just be in that space by myself, just enjoying Elton giving back to Phoenix in the form of an amazing performance, and just letting him literally just wash over me with all of these songs that were playing in the background during my childhood. It was so powerful, and I was so grateful that I took the plunge, bought the tickets, went to the show. Let's recap 3 ways to tap into the healing power of music. 1 is to face the music. Buy the tickets, go to the show, and change the narrative around it. The second is to share the experience, to tap into the healing power of community as well as the healing power of music, and experience it with another survivor or a trusted friend. The third is to go solo. Sometimes you just gotta go solo, if you feel comfortable with that, and just allow the music to just wash over you as you change the memories and the narrative around those songs. Remember, turn up the music and tune out the narcissist. If this podcast has helped you understand who and what you're dealing with, sharpen your discernment, and move forward on your healing journey, share it with another survivor. Help me help others by leaving a review for the show. And let's connect on social. Take a screenshot, share it in your IG stories, find and tag me at The Vibrant Survivor, and I'll share your post too. I look forward to connecting with you on IG and seeing you back here. You're not alone and you're not crazy. Know who you're dealing with, know who you are. Take care, and I'll meet you back here next week. Bye-bye.